How's it going, everybody? If you're anything like us, you've been excited all year for the new Star Wars Battlefront trailer. We've just watched it and it has blown our minds.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna break it down to the key talking points so that you guys don't miss a thing. So let's hop straight into it.
All right, folks, here we go. What we're going to do is let the trailer run. We're going to stop it at certain points where we really want to dig into some of the details. But let's get going. This looks amazing already, Ben, right?
It looks absolutely beautiful. And the crazy thing is this is actual game engine footage. So this is something that we can expect to see on the Xbox One when it comes out on the 20th of November in the UK. One of the best things we found out was that's when it's coming out.
So let's stop it there. So we've seen a ton of stuff already. The first thing we should talk about is, this is Endor, right? We're sure of that now.
Yeah, no, we can tell that straight away because the Ewok village is there. Empire, the Return of the Jedi, straight away, one of the biggest battles in the film based on Endor.
Totally.
Really excited to see it back. And it kind of gives us kind of like, it's going to be pre the new set of films.
Yeah, we're seeing the original trilogy universe in here, which I think a lot of people are going to be really excited about. Then we saw the Ewok village, we saw the speeder bikes appear straight out of the blue. We'd seen some of this stuff before in the teaser trailers, but it's really nice to have it kind of confirmed in here, right?
And there's a bit that you were really excited about as well, the
Star Destroyer. I love my Star Destroyers,
which actually got me thinking about how it's actually going to work in game, because it's one of the bits that I'm most interested about is actually how the mechanics are going to work in game. And I could see that being based off the other Battlefront games. Could be like a starting spawn for the Empire before they drop into the battle, give you that kind of like startup while the rebels spawn in the Ewok village, and it kind of starts those starting points and stuff like that, and maybe that's where they get all the vehicles and stuff.
Yeah, and we saw the Rebel Commandos, we've seen the Stormtroopers in here as well. We know it's 20 versus 20 combat. It's going to be in Battlefront.
So good.
It's going to be so good. And the other thing that occurred to me straight away was we're hearing the authentic original sounds from the Star Wars movies, right?
Yeah, no, it's like the thing you pick up on is the blasters. It's like one of the most distinctive noises in Star Wars, and it's just like straight off the bat, you're hearing it straight away with the speeders going past. You know you're playing a Star Wars game. All
right, let's get back in and talk about speeder bikes. We know from the film how fast these things are. Like, imagine how difficult they're going to be to control.
Oh, it's going to be so difficult. It's going to be one of those things that you can really tell who's good in them and who's not, because there's a few things. First of all, there's so many trees that it's going to be so easy to just crash into a tree and be taken out like we saw earlier in the clip. And then also they're really easy to be taken out as well.
That's right. So let's stop it there. So we've seen a bunch of stuff again. We've seen the speeder bikes. We've seen alien races. So we've seen a Celestin, we've seen an Ishi-Tib in here as well. So confirmed that alien races will be able to fight for the rebellion. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's kind of linking back to previous Battlefronts as well, because there was always different like selectables that kind of gave you different loadouts or in-game advantages and stuff like that. Like you had pilots for stormtroopers and stuff like that. So we're going to see different types of stormtroopers. I'm guessing it looks like they're going the same way like this. And you're going to get, I think you picked it up as well earlier, they've got different weapons, like one of them's got like a sniper rifle.
Looks like it, yeah. The Celestin's holding something that has a blaster that has an extended stock on it. Of course, it's got a scope on it as well, so we think different weapon types creeping. So we did see an Imperial speeder bike pilot as well, so we know there'll be different character types for the Imperials as well. That's great. And then, I'm a sucker for my Imperial hardware.
I saw your face now when it came on the first time. You were just like so happy. You're like, it's there.
The ATST stomping round the corner looked absolutely amazing. My favorite thing about it is that it's got that kind of that really creepy stop motiony movement, like that totally recalls the film. I love the fact they've picked up on that and kept true to the films like that.
Yeah, it kind of gives it that authentic feel. But kind of what got me thinking, right, is because Return of the Jedi traps. Yeah, right? Are they going to be the traps on Endor? Are they going to be like kind of places that you can set them up with the Ewoks and everything like that? Because that would be absolutely awesome to see them being taken out.
So we haven't seen that in the trailer, but that would be so cool if there's environmental traps like that. But you know, imagine what it's going to be like to actually pilot an ATST as well. You've got that added elevation, you've got the kind of maneuverability, but you know it's going to be slightly difficult to get the drop on ground troops as well. But that's going to add such different balancing to the game, right?
Yeah, no, because it's like anything. If you've got an aerial advantage, you're a lot more difficult to be taken out. But then again, if people can get straight underneath you, it puts you in a really difficult position where you can get taken out by the opposition quite quickly. We want to see how they take out the ATST, because what you see here is they throw a piece of equipment which we haven't seen before in previous Battlefronts. It kind of allows it to be a counter to some form of vehicle, because everyone kind of freaks out it's very difficult, but it takes it straight out there with the rocket launcher, one use, throws it on the floor.
All right, I'm going to stop it again. I'm properly excited about what we're going to see next, but let's talk about that a bit more detail. So you mentioned the equipment there. The Rebel forces busted out a kind of mobile shield, and then the Celestin busted out his jetpack. How cool is that?
Jetpack. Oh, I completely missed that the first time, because he hops straight out and just takes a one-use rocket launcher And it's actually really interesting seeing these different kind of maneuverabilities because it's going to offer you so many options on the actual battlefield and give you so many tactical advantages, especially with the elevation that you were going on about. With the ATST having that vertical advantage, it's kind of a good way of countering and maybe setting up those kind of boom traps that I'm after.
Yeah, exactly. And I really like the fact that jetpacks are in here. Obviously, very true to the Star Wars universe, and I think we've seen with games like Titanfall and Advanced Warfare, the extra movement, the extra maneuverability that they give you as a soldier, as a ground force, really changes the game up and rebalances.
Yeah.
That infantry versus vehicle combat. So really, really good to see that. That rocket launcher he used to take the ATST down as well. One shot, but did the job pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, and what was really interesting is you see him throw it on the floor afterwards rather than, all right, cool, I'm just going to throw another rocket launcher. And I think that could be to do with in-game balancing because it's one of the most frustrating things if someone's got 500 rockets and is just constantly bombarding you. So I think that's going to be a really interesting feature and see if that's in the game.
That's the Celestin equivalent of dropping the mic, right? It's just like, I've done it, I'll get rid of the rocket launcher, I'm out.
Moving on.
Let's go on again, right? So we've seen the ATST, now it's time for the daddy. The ATAT
He
comes
looks
in
so
here.
scared.
I mean, but imagine, I always thought that when I was watching the film, especially when I was a wee boy, how scary these things were. And especially if you were actually, fighting against that, you saw that coming towards you, you would freak out, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's just like kind of as well that mechanical movement. It's like that inevitability that you cannot get away right now. And then also, what really interested me there as well was when the troop, the rebel, actually called in the Y-wing.
Yeah.
To come in and do the bombing run. It was like kind of made me start thinking that in games they're going to be like kill streaks or score streaks or some sort of streaks that be called in. Because I know that Dyson stuff have implemented it in the past of having like the commander feature where someone can call in like special features like bombing runs or like X-wings or maybe like vehicles or heroes. That which would be really cool. It kind of got me thinking about that.
And yeah, so no confirmed news whether Commander mode is in here, but it would seem to make sense for this universe, right? Rebel Commander, Imperial Commander would be very, very cool indeed. But we are seeing those Rebel vehicles coming into play now as well. So the Y-wing bombers doing that bombing run, taking down the AT-AT in pretty spectacular fashion is very cool indeed. Right, I've stopped it again because we've got something very special. There you go.
Also, one other thing I saw, what got me interested there was actually something that we saw with Surveillance, like when we were reading up about the deluxe edition, is he's picking up his companion, his teammate, and if you guys didn't know, we're playing on Xbox Live, you can hop in with a friend on Xbox Live, and you're able to like share unlocks and stuff like that, which would be really cool. So if you've got like a really good friend like me and you, hop on, can both unlock stuff together and kind of progress and then help each other out in Battlefield. And I think that's what that's kind of linking to in the trailer before Darth Vader.
I was going to say, I'm glad you picked up on that, but it's Darth Vader, Benny. We've got to talk about Darth. How cool is that? You've just taken down the AT-AT and then Darth turns up.
You just be like, this is not my day. This is not my day. But it's one of those things that kind of really got me excited as well because like Battlefront was the first game I ever played on my Xbox. It was the first game I ever played, and then Battlefront 2 came out and Playable Heroes came out, and it was just so epic to like be able to take control of like Darth Maul and everything like that. And I think from what I can see, this is coming back. I'm hoping this means that playable heroes are going to be back, playable villains.
Well, we know they're back. DICE have talked about it. Playable heroes, playable villains are definitely back in Battlefront, and I think that's just going to be such a cool addition to the game. And I mean, what could be cooler than turning up on the battlefield as Darth Vader?
Just kind of like going on an absolute tear and building those kill streaks. It'd be so much fun.
Unbelievable. Right, so that's the end of the Endor section, right? Now the trailer goes into a series of like kind of quick cuts of different things we'll be able to see in the game, right? And I think it's worth pointing out that the digital deluxe edition of Star Wars Battlefront is going to include all these maps. So we've got Endor, we're going to see Hoth, we're going to see Tatooine, and we're going to see a new unexplored world called Celeste as well. And we're going to jump into these, but we'll do Hoth very quickly first, right?
The Hoth. Everyone's kind of iconic moment with Hoth.
It is my favourite scene or like section in the whole Star Wars canon. I absolutely love that scene in Hoth.
You just have to take down the AT&Ts. Yeah, it's just so much fun with the snow. The
So we see the snow speeders in there. You know, we've seen them in concept art. We've seen them already in some of the stuff that DICE has put out. But it's going to be fun to pilot them, right?
Especially with like how it looks for the in-game. It's like going back to the in-game engine. It's going to be absolutely epic. It's going to be really fun seeing like what it is on the Xbox One. Weaving through the legs, getting taken out, hearing the blasters going off.
I mean, using your tow cables to take down an AT-AT walker is going to be an incredible experience, and particularly if you can be able to do that in the kind of co-op way that DICE have been talking about.
Yeah.
You know, your pilot in the snowspeeder, your gunner. That's going to be a very cool moment. So, looks like we'll be able to experience the Battle of Hoth for ourselves.
Then it's actually getting onto a point that I was really excited about, was first-person cockpit mode. Because I think it's something that I was quite excited about, because Battlefront was always a third-person game, but you're going to be able to flick between first-person and third-person in this game. So if you want to go in, if you're in your X-Wing, you want to be in that cockpit mode, it kind of gives you that kind of like first-person feel, you're going to be able to do that, which is just going to be so much fun. Proper like dogfights with other like TIE fighters, X-Wings. It's good. I'm just seriously really excited.
It's just bringing to life all those experiences. You know, when I was a little boy and I was watching the films, you know, watching Luke pilot the X-Wing, that's what I wanted to do. And this looks like this is going to let me do it. I can't believe it. But it looks like we're seeing Tatooine there, right? It's the kind of the canyons and the rocky formations that we know from Tatooine. So that's very cool. And then next up, this.
All right, I can already see you getting excited. The T-shirt says it all.
That's right. Boba Fett, my man, my absolute favourite character from the Star Wars universe. He's got the coolest outfit, he's got the coolest gun, and he's got a jetpack. I mean...
Who doesn't love a jetpack? Exactly,
what's not to like? So it's brilliant to see him, presumably a playable villain. That is ace. But the thing that excites me most about this section of the trailer is this is Jakku, right? This is the planet that's been revealed in the Force Awakens trailer. And we can see, you know, remember in that opening scene in the Force Awakens trailer, that crashed Star Destroyer in the background that's obviously been there for a long time.
How did it get there?
Here, this is it. This is when it's crashed. So you get to live the battle that you see the aftermath of in the Force Awakens trailer. And DICE have talked about how in the narrative, this happens after the Battle of Endor, right? So the rebels are actually hunting down the Imperials now on this planet. We're going to get to live that battle. That's so cool.
Like, what I kind of loved as well is if you're looking at the background, you can see like X-Wings or Y-Wings going into the burning Star Destroyer in the background.
Yeah.
And it just kind of gets you thinking. And kind of me being me as well, I started like thinking about the gameplay side of it, and you saw like the moisture farm just below Boba Fett. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, oh, could that be an objective point within the game? Could that be like a hard point, a domination point, sort of objectives, and also Sandcrawler in the background as well.
Yeah, that's it. And we can see some wee Jawas in front of it. So it's wicked to see that, you know, these elements of the Star Wars universe being brought in, you know, it's kind of like a backdrop to the battle. That's going to be so cool. And maybe there'll be a way that they'll influence the battle.
It's just the scale of it as well.
Exactly,
it's
scale.
Absolutely insane.
You've got air vehicles, you've got ground warfare going on here, you've got your playable villain bossing things.
And what I still can't get over is this is the actual game engine. Like, this is what we're going to be getting.
20 versus 20 battles on here. It looks absolutely incredible. Right, and let's spin on though, because I want to show you a hangar full of TIE fighters.
I'm a big fan of air combat. Like, I can remember playing Battlefield 1943. My favorite things was dogfights, like plane versus plane. And this, we're gonna have TIE fighters versus X-Wings. And then, who doesn't love it? Millennium Falcon comes in at the end.
Standard, you've got to end a Star Wars trailer on the Millennium Falcon these days, right? It's like the punctuation point to anything that's Star Wars. But it's so cool, and we reckon that's going to be like a hero vehicle.
Yeah, because it actually got me thinking as well, because you spotted this on the bottom left of the screen. There was the Emperor's Imperial
It's an Imperial shuttle, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe the Emperor might turn up at some point, which is pretty sweet, especially if he can bust out some Force lightning. That'd be awesome.
That would scare me.
Yeah.
I'm just a TIE fighter and see some Force lightning. I'll be like, no.
That's because you're scared of how much you like the dark side. You should give into it. But yeah, this world, we reckon this is Sullust, which is a new unexplored world that will be available in Battlefront. So, you know, that's really cool that they're bringing in parts of the wider Star Wars universe as well to this. So yeah. Excited?
A little bit. I'm lying. I've been here, you know me, I've been sat here all day, just be like, when's the trailer dropping? And And it's just exciting to see how good it actually looks, and I can't wait to kind of see more over the next coming months.
Absolutely. It looks to me like the Star Wars game I have seriously always wanted. I've got a lot of faith in DICE. I love the way that they're going back to the original trilogy, the props, the sound effects, the look and feel of it. They're being totally true to it. I'm massively excited about that. So there's a ton more information on StarWarsBattlefront.com. If you pre-order, you get access to the Battle of Jakku DLC on December the 1st, but everyone will get it on December the 8th as well. So that'll be a nice run up to the movie release, right, at Christmas time.
No, I can't wait though. It's also kind of like just building up that kind of period of when the film's going to come out, because you're going to want to be getting on Star Wars Battlefront to find out what happens in Jakku.
Totally.
I genuinely cannot wait.
All right. So thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the trailer. We absolutely loved it. And we'll see you soon on Xbox On. Make sure you give us a like and make sure you subscribe for more videos. And I guess finally, may the Force be with you.
You've just been waiting to drop that.